Hi. Ooh, is this thing on? Oh, welcome. My name is Binja, and I am the African Cocktail. Onela. We finally made it to our very first YouTube video, and I am so excited because so many people have asked, Binja, when are we going to get a video? And I know, I am late to the party on this. My fault. However, now that I'm here, we're good to go and we're full steam ahead. And today's video is going to be on the top tech that every travel blogger needs to have. Once again, I am aiming for a couple of things that are within a low to medium range. I have one or two items that might be considered on the higher end, but overall, I'm so excited to be sharing with you some of my favorite tools that I'm using this year as a travel blogger. So let's kick it off with travel blogger tech that I always bring with me, are international adapters. So we have Europe here on the back, and you have the round plugs. Then you also have USA and Japan. And the good thing about this version, you can lock and unlock, which means that everything stays clean when you're packing it up. And when you unlock, for example, this unlocks USA, Japan plugs. So when you click on the lock, you're able to go ahead and lock this in place. Doesn't move. When you hit unlock, you can slide it back in and then lock it back in place. So that's gonna let me, yeah, there we go. Locked it back in place. So this is my second favorite travel adapter, and it also has a surge protector because, as you guys know, when you travel you get different wattage depending on the countries you're in. So this is also comes in with a built-in surge protector, which means that you don't really have to think about adapting on wattage. One of my favorite purchases. Let's go with this. My Apple Pencil. I edit when I am in flight, and this tool has been incredibly useful for me because when you have Lightroom, for example, on an iPad, which is what I usually do when I'm editing my photos, I definitely just use this as I go on the screen, and it is perfection. Now, as you'll see, it actually looks like a pencil because I put a cover on it. I got this cover. It's called a duotone Apple Pencil sleeve cover. I got this from Amazon, so I'll link it down below as well. But it is honestly one of my favorite purchases because the grip is very different. It actually feels like a pencil now, and you can actually feel like you have a bit more control over your work as you're editing. So I highly recommend having both the Apple Pencil as well as a cover for it. I just picked this fun blush when I'm in a phase in my life where I love everything blush. So I got one in blush. I'm so excited about this tech, guys. You don't understand. So many people ask me, what do you pack? What do you put together? How do you know what to put together? I kind of just go off of what I'm going to be doing on the trip. If I'm going to be partly working, partly at play, I definitely will pick different tools. But for the moment, I'm showing you what is baseline always with me when I travel. So my next piece of tech is the 7-in-2 USBC Hub. Now this I got from Amazon as well. Now, for all of us who have MacBook Airs, you know that we do not have pretty much any good ports. So this one comes in with a couple of slots. So you have your USB-C, you have your regular USB ports. You also have a slot for an SD card, which usually comes in handy, especially when you're editing video footage. You can just slide that in. And this connects, as you can see here with these two, connects to the laptop, and then you can just hook all of your additional extensions right here. So it becomes a very handy piece of tech, and it's super lightweight. I got it in a rose gold because my MacBook Air is in a rose gold. I'll show you guys in a couple of minutes here. Oh, before I forget, you also have an HDMI port. Guys, it is everything you want in one gadget. So I'll link this as well, but it is life freaking saver, especially when you own a MacBook Air. So that is my number 1, 2, 3, 4 tech, I think we're at. Now let's get to the big babies, right? Like I mentioned, I do a lot of editing on my iPad. I actually have a cute cover for it. Like I said, I'm loving everything blush right now. This is one of my favorite covers because, as you can see, when you open it up, you're able to have it sit on its own. And when you're in flight and trying to edit as you go, it's really important for you to be able to have a solid surface. And I like that this doubles up with its own kickstand. I also got the case that comes with a keyboard. So if I have to write out emails and send a bunch of responses, or if I have to craft and draft blog posts, I get the best of both worlds here. So if I want to get the business part of life happening and done, I do that with the kickstand and I do that with the keyboard. But I can also pull both of those back and I can just have it this way, where I can now go in, and if I wanted to be creative and create a couple of visual apps, I can absolutely go ahead and do that. So again, Apple Pencil, iPad, must have tech for me as I travel. Then we come to the big guys. As I mentioned, I do have a MacBook Air. And this MacBook Air, I love. It is super, super light. But like I mentioned, we do not have any of the standard USB ports. And what ends up happening is people get stuck and hate the MacBook Air because you think, well, I can't connect a regular USB to this. But like I said, if you get the USB adapter, the USB-C adapter here, you're able to plug that baby in here, and that's it. You're good to go. You have all the ports that you would have regularly had on a different MacBook, but now you actually get everything else that you need. So I always bring my MacBook with me because it is super, super lightweight. It is one of my favorite pieces of tech that I bring with me. As you guys can see, super, super thin. I also got this case for it because I am one of those people that does not believe in just packing up any piece of tech and just kind of like throwing it into a bag without having a cover of some sort. So I got this clear cover and it has a couple of rubber stops here. So if I have to put the MacBook on a surface, it doesn't slide out. So one of my favorite purchases. It's my newest baby. Okay, so now, if you're a travel blogger and you do not have an external hard drive, what are you doing? What are you doing? I love this Lassie hard drive. I believe I have, it's either 2 or 3 terabytes. And I know that sounds like a lot of storage, but at the end of the day, when you have both YouTube videos that you're working on and editing, as well as editing photos from a shoot, this definitely comes in handy. I actually have 2 external hard drives. My sister is a photographer in Africa, and she mentioned something to me that I had never really thought about. She was like, well, what if one of your hard drives crashes? And I'm like, all those years of work, nightmare. So for me, I have 2 different hard drives, but this is my most recent purchase that I travel with. I love this Lassie version. It comes with this silicone case that is shock resistant. So if you drop this, for example, when you're working accidentally, like it topples over from the desk, nothing to worry about. It's all shock absorbent because of the silicone. The pop of color is everything for me. So external hard drive, everybody must have one. What are you doing in 2020 without one? Now, I got one of my favorite purchases. I mean, I keep saying that they're my favorite purchases, but for real, like I bring these with me every single trip. This one is one of my most recent ones. It's a Sateki, I don't know, desktop charger. So this is incredible. Now you have 2 slots for USB-C ports. So these 2, I plug into my iPad and I plug into my MacBook Air. Yes, you heard me right. We do not need an actual brick. We can charge our MacBook Airs right from this device. I also have 2 slots for USB cables, and I use these to charge my phone. I also use them to charge my fan. You can use this to charge my batteries for my camera. I can use these to charge my headphones. So anything that has a USB-C port, all in one device. So I eliminate all the needs for my bricks by using this one device. Probably my top purchase in 2020. This guy right here. My last piece of tech that I always, well, second last piece of tech, I should say, that I always bring with me is my phone. I think it goes without saying, you must have your phone with you. I use my phone for everything. If I don't want to sound like one of those people that's like addicted to their phones, but really my whole life runs off of my phone. And as you probably have guessed at this point, I run on Apple OS. So I have my iPhone, I have my iPad, and I have my MacBook, and they're always all synced up. And it's just makes working as a travel blogger so much simpler because, for example, I would have my notes on my phone with ideas for photo shoots, with ideas for videos, with captions. And if I don't have my phone immediately accessible to me, for example, if I'm in flight and I've put my phone away, I can just always pull up my iPad. And like I told you, because it's all part of the Apple suite, I just pull up my notes and everything is integrated and synced. So I'll know exactly what I wanted to say for the blog post, tied to a caption, etc. So it definitely helps having all your devices under one roof. And in this case, I am an Apple baby. So everything that I have is all Mac related and Apple OS related. My last piece of tech, and I can actually say it's my last one, is, crap, I guess it's twofold. So what I'm recording on is my Canon M50. I use it both for blogging and for vlogging. I take that back. I use it for vlogging and taking photos when I travel, especially when I do solo travel. And I am obsessed with it. It is lightweight. It has such good picture quality. It's a mirrorless camera. So at the end of the day, if you're like me and are not necessarily a pro and you don't know what settings and apertures, I don't freaking know. I just want to like record. This is a great camera for you as a starter. You don't need to go and get like the Canon Ds and all of that stuff. That's a huge heavy body and you're like, now I have this powerful tool. I have no clue how to use it. The Canon M50 is incredible. The picture quality, as you guys can see, incredible. And so I bring that with me on all my trips, and it is such a glorious purchase, guys. I cannot tell you, especially if you're starting out in this vlogging journey or in a blogging journey. Must purchase. All right, last thing here is my Canon battery charger. Like I said, it goes without saying, it's twofold. I feel like I'm an African preacher who's like, okay guys, the service is about to end, this is the last point, and then we're like in it for another 20 minutes, right? Nobody got time for this, Binja. Wrap it up. So I'm wrapping it up. This is my Canon battery charger, and again, many times I have been out in these streets recording and then my battery dies. And honestly, guys, the tears I have shed because I have no battery or because I have just the one charger, I cannot even tell you. Oh, actually, before I forget, I'll be right back. I got another one. Okay, guys, so the second last piece of tech, and I know I've said it's the last one and I now sound like an African preacher. I think I just have so many pieces that I want to make sure that you guys are able to get so that you're good to go in your blogging and vlogging journey. So the second last piece of tech that I use, as with any camera, you have to have your battery chargers. So I actually have 3. I got this that came with my Canon M50, but it is just the one battery. And if you've ever vlogged and you know how much we have a reliance on having enough batteries, I went off and I went to Amazon and I actually got this dual digital USB charger. And so I have 2 more batteries that I can actually slot and charge at the same time. So for example, at the end of a day when I've finished vlogging and if I'm in a location for multiple days, I'll have all of these 3 charging at the same time. This one is just a wall charger, so it'll plug into the wall, but this one is a USB charger. And remember I told you that I have my Sateki, which has a port for USB chargers. This is a USB charger and I can just plug it in as well, so it comes in handy. The last piece of tech that I have that I realize I mentioned in passing are my headphones that I travel religiously with. Like, I am that person that I don't want to hear your baby crying. I don't want to hear anything that is outside of what I actually want to listen to, which is usually rain sounds or Netflix or my African music playlist. Otherwise, I don't want to hear it. I didn't sign up for this flight and your baby. What? So I have my noise canceling headphones. I have the Beats by Dre, and I usually keep it in this pouch. It's not what came with it when I bought it in store, but I like this pouch better because it's a little bit more of a hard shell, so it insulates it from any impact, especially when you're, again, throwing things in a bag, trying to like rush in and out of a flight. This is guaranteed to keep your headphones safe. So I have piercings that prevent me from using in-ear earbuds. So my go-to are these Beats by Dre, like I mentioned, and I love these. So whenever I'm in flight, first thing I do, pop these babies in, and I'm good to go. I love having them. They have made travel for me such a joy and such a pleasure. The case itself comes with a little bit of a pouch where I actually store my charging cable for my headphones. And again, I just need all the cables that I have so that I can travel with them, because I got my Sateki. All I need to know is, can I plug that baby in? I have my USB cables in there. After my USB cable, I can charge my headphones, I can charge my iPod, I can charge my phone, I can charge my MacBook, I can charge my batteries. So, as I said, I can actually charge my fan. Guys, the last piece of tech is my Apple Watch. I love this baby. I have the one where it has cellular service. So if my phone, again, is far away from me and somebody's calling, I can always pick up the phone from my watch. I can always send text messages from here. If I have my headphones connected, I can control my music from my Apple Watch. I don't know. Do you guys want me to do a review of what I use my Apple Watch for? Because honestly, I feel like I'm one of those people that maximizes every single tool that I get. So yes, all of the tech I've shown you will be linked down below. Most of them, if not all of them, except probably like my MacBook and my iPad, got from the store. But again, I'm sure I can find you links on Amazon. I'm so excited. This is my first vlog. How did I do? Okay, I'm super nervous and excited, and I do hope that I gave you enough tools that you feel confident getting into your vlogging journey as a 2020 travel blogger. Enjoy. Let me know. Did you like my suggestions? Do you already own bits and pieces of what I showed you today? Let me know. Thank you for joining, and I hope to be doing more vlogs. See you soon.